Hello, welcome to Mr. Ralph Teaching Math. Today we are going to teach lesson 4.1. We are estimating. What does estimating mean again? Oh, my kids should know this. It means, say it, rounding. Okay, when you estimate, you round, and that is a 0. Also, we are estimating quotients. What is a quotient? Okay, what is this lovely word quotient? A quotient is the answer to a division problem. So we're estimating quotients using multiples, okay? A multiple is a number. A number is a product of a number and a counting number, and we'll get into that in a minute. But here we go. So you're probably wondering, why does Mr. Rouse has a cheese sandwich on this lesson? This lesson reminds me of a good cheese sandwich. Now, with a good cheese sandwich, you need good toasted bread, as we have here. And the best is this melted cheese. It has to be perfectly melted, okay? As your mouth just drools. But that's what you're going to think about as you think about estimating quotients. Okay, what's a quotient again? Good, a quotient is the answer to a division problem. So, let's do a problem here. So if I have 110 divided by 8, okay, we are going to look at, do we want the exact answer? No, we're estimating, okay? So I have taught my kids when we're doing this, we're going to do multiples. A multiple is a number that goes into another number to make a product. A multiple of 8. So 8 times something to get the product. So 8 times 4, 8 times 5, 8 times 6. We're going to always start, like, a little hint here. Okay, start with 12. So I'm going to do 8 times 12 to begin, which is, good, it's 96. Now 96, now the idea is we have each piece of toast here with our cheese. Our cheese represents this 110. I have to have a number that is just barely under it, so I have a piece of bread on the bottom. So this number has to be smaller than my 110, and then my piece of bread that's on top of that cheese, so this number is just barely bigger. Okay, so this 96 is smaller, but can I get closer to my cheese? You don't want to have a piece of cheese on your bread and they're not even stuck together because they're not that close. So I'm just going to take the next multiple, 8 times 13. If I don't know what 8 times 13 is, I just add 8 to 96, which is 104. Oh my gosh, we're getting really close now to that piece of bread. Let's try another one. 8 times 14, which is, add 8 to it, you got 112. Ding-da-da-da-doo! Now, if you look at this, I have a number. I don't want to go any bigger because you want to do the number that is just barely above. And look what we found here. That's barely above 112. So I have my big number. Now, most kids here want to put 112 as their answer. These are your answers. So let me get one that you can see through the bread. 14, okay, is just barely bigger because that's our 112. It is barely bigger, and our 13 or our 104 is barely smaller. So now I have a piece of bread on the bottom, I have a cheese in the middle, and I have my number that's barely bigger, or my toast on the top. So now I have a perfect, good cheese sandwich. So on these, you're always going to start. Let's do another one just like this for now. If I have 75 divided by 4. Remember, we're always going to start with a multiple of 12. 4 times 12 is, good, 48. Now I'm going to go, 48's kind of close to that 75, but I know I can get closer. So I'm just going to keep adding 4, which is 56. Now do 15 times, which is 60. 16 times, which is 64. 17 times, which is 68. Ooh, I'm getting close, okay? So now we'll go to 18 times, which is 72. Dun, 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 that probably is there. Let's try the next one and see for sure. I get 76. So I'm barely over and barely under. So here's my answers. 18 and 19. Now there's one other way they're going to do this problem. Let me show you this one. If I have 215 divided by 9. Now here, if I start with my multiple of 12, like I told you to do, 9 times 12, which equals 108, that's going to take me a lifetime to get to 215. Not going to do it. So here is the key here. I'm looking at this first two numbers, which is 21. So I'm going to look at 21 and say, so we're going to look at this 21, and we're going to say 9 times what is closest to 21, and I don't care if I go over or under at this point. So 9 times, we know 9 times 1 is 9, so that's not going to work. But 9 times 2 equals 18. Now 18 is not even close to 215, right? But I have this lovely 5 here, so I add a 0 there and a 0 there. Okay, so 180 is pretty close. So that might be our piece of bread, our smaller piece of bread. Let's try 9 times 3. Remember, I'm going to add my 0 because of that 5. 9 times 3 is 27. Now, can I fit this lovely 215 right in there? I can. It fits perfectly in. That is my cheese. Okay, so if I find my two numbers that it fits in between, remember, this is my answer. So the answer would be 20 and 30. So this is Mr. Ralph's teaching lesson 4.1. I hope this made sense. If not, give me a call and we'll talk. And join me next time as I teach you 4.2. Have a good night.